game?
I was actually at this point just starting to think things were picking up a little bit.
Well, part of this is just Josh decided to not do what we need to do, but just the scavenging in general.
Yeah, what are we doing? We're supposed to go talk to Nick?
I was getting Piper so we can dump Piper as soon as we get to Nick, because I like spending time this way.
It's big, loud, full of corrupt officials.
But I mean, like, this game makes it so that you kind of have to scavenge, right? Like, previously, junk was just junk, and now you want junk, you need junk.
Sometimes you gotta wonder. Does anyone fight
junk was clutter. It was there to make to fill out the environment. And that sort of means your job is implicitly to ruin the environments, like to go in and hoover up all the objects on the shelves that makes the place look interesting and lived in.
These ties. Oh, Nick. Another stray.
Oh, right, we have to go do the Nick Valentine.
Rescue Nick from the guys who are stereotypical 50s gangsters. Actually, they're 30s gangsters. They're all trigger men. Like, this game doesn't even know what decade it's supposed to be based. The 50s vibe was not that heavy. And they have, like, made it so heavy, and then they've sort of, like, messed it up by pulling in stuff from the 30s and the 20s.
What the fuck was even that? What was that
line?
Piper.
Like, Piper's like this 1930s newsies kind of character. You got these 1950s or 1940s like gangster mobsters. Nick Valentine's like a 40s style neo-noir sort of thing going on. Then you have characters like Hamilton that are friggin', you know, I don't know.
Hey, I'd love to help.
Bicentennial reenactors? I don't even know what you would call that.
Play games with me. I'll pay you if you find Nick, but it's going to be 100 caps. That's the reward, and it's not up for negotiation.
Piper disliked that.
Prompts.
Who's this skinny Malone?
Not my problem.
I don't know much about him, but he's from Good Neighbor, and that means he's
refuse the quest.
Malone.
I don't care about this quest. I decided I don't want to find this guy.
Malone's from Good Neighbor?
Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. Northeast a ways. People with power there care about two things. Style and
Mumbles would definitely want us to go to Good Neighbor. This is her favorite place.
You have my word.
Well, we don't want to go there when she's not here.
Right, absolutely. But there's a lot to say about you. Good Neighbor is less stupid than Diamond City. I'll say that for it. And what's her boyfriend's name? Hancock is more interesting than a lot of your possible companions.
Yeah. So Nick Valentine has a dossier on the mysterious stranger.
I really ought to... I like that detail. I really ought to make a mod for the game which adds a dossier on Reginald Cuftbert. Wanted for exploding the pants of a prominent DJ in the Capital Wasteland. Conflicting descriptions.
Of DJ, I love... this is the best DJ in the whole series. I mean, it's... you know, I love the DJ here. I love this guy. I think he's a genuinely good character. Not just good for... Yeah, not just good for a Bethesda game, but genuinely a good character.
Besides the character creator, he is literally the first thing I liked about the game.
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history.
Do we want to do that quest? The Mumbles
no,
really
we don't want to
do.
do.
So
we don't want to do the wall quest. We also don't want to do the radio operator quest for two reasons. Number one, it's not the time. It's time consuming.
I knew there was something I wanted to bitch about. I wonder. Okay, I finally got here and was like really frustrated at the lack of world building. Nobody talks about anything. Nobody explains how anything works. There's no story here. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me a story, and then finally somebody goes, oh, if you want to know about this place, talk to so-and-so at the wall. He's an old guy, and I'm like, the old sage character. Okay, I'll go to him and get my expositional story. So I show up to this dude, and he's like, oh, you know, I need you to do something for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I have to work for my exposition. So he tells you to go get paint from a local paint store that still has paint 200 years after the bombs fell. And last time he went, he didn't get it all for whatever reason. But the paint mixer still works, so you can mix up more paint. He uses this to paint the green, like, scoreboardy wall out in the outfield, because that's real important to the city. And I'm like, I can't wait to hear how you explain this bullshit, but here's your paint. And that was it. No exposition. no history of the city, nothing. The
like,
game promised me exposition that it never had any intention of delivering on.
And the other, like, dumb thing is that, like, it's this whole superstition where, like, oh, the wall protects, and, like, they're kind of going for, they're going for, they built a religion around the baseball thing, like with the swatter guy, but it's just those two guys. It's just those two dumbasses.
They even have a church here that, as far as I can tell, there's no reason to ever go to the church, because none of the NPCs actually have anything to do with any quests or anything like that. But they have a church here, and it's like some, like, non-denominational thing where, oh, we don't care what you believe in as long as you believe in something. It's like, what?
And
it's like, literally the laziest possible approach.
Right.
It's also...
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, it's also like what Rutskarn was talking about earlier, just sort of like, hey, did you know we're in Boston? Did you know that you're in Yankee Stadium? Or not Yankee Stadium, I'm going to get stabbed. Fenway? And we've got the Green Monster. The Green Monster is here, and we paint it, and we keep it up, and it's still a thing. And it's just sort of like, yeah, I get it. I'm in Boston. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like every character in that town seems written by somebody different, none of whom care about the overall aesthetic of, like, the post-apocalyptic towns. Like, even in the original Fallout games, oh, fucking drink. Even in the original Fallout games, you know, you get to these towns and you don't feel like they have these structures because that's what a town looks like. You feel like they have these structures because these people are hanging on by their fingernails, and, like, the strong and the organized prevail, and the rest just kind of make do or find their niche, or, like, you know, the traders aren't there because it's a shopping mall. The traders are there because they found, like, some little scrap of land where they can sell to people who pass through all the time. Diamond City has no point. Like, there's a mayor. Like, how is that? Like, what's up with the mayor? Like, he doesn't even feel right for this town. He feels like he's a modern-day elected official in a town that has no business supporting a modern-day elected official. Like, he's got a secretary? What the fuck does a secretary do?
Meanwhile, if you look at the old games,
there's like what? Yeah, it's like public ordinances, people applying for permits. What the shit would he even have to do?
My name is Rex.
And I just remember playing. I played at the beginning of one of the Fallouts recently. Not that time I died like 2 weeks ago, but a more general playthrough. Like you reach, I can't remember what town it was. I can't remember if it was even Fallout 1 or 2. But you reach town, and it's like outside of town are where all the traders are, because they're not allowed into the main parts of the city for security reasons. And that's also where all the trading happens, is sort of this outpost right on the edge of town. And then as you work your way in, you work your way closer and closer to the central hub of sort of social things, and it's more secure and more safe, but also harder to get to. And like the physical layout of the city made some semblance of sense. They didn't just have like the trading bazaar in a big circle and that's the whole town. There was like a layout that actually felt like it was lived in.
Right, it's a video game town.
The layout is telling the story.
Yeah, this is a video in this game. It's a video game town. You can tell because it has things that are important to main characters in it. And there's nothing that's important to people that would want to live their life in this town. This is why I get so angry at the game. I get so frustrated because I can't think of a more rewarding job than, hey, Seamus, what would Boston be like 200 years after the bombs fell? Imagine what sort of society would exist there. And I'd be like, oh man, the stories you could tell without dialogue, but just positioning elements. You could just fill this world with interesting ideas. And the person who got hired to do that job evidently doesn't give a shit about it, or doesn't even realize that they should be doing that. And cannot even be bothered to care.
Well, that's the problem, is it's not one person hired to do that. It's like 15 different level designers, 20 different art directors.
I don't know.
I think most of those people are novices to this sort of thing, or like haven't worked on the project.
Of course,
I'm just guessing there, because it feels like a lot of their writing is done by interns. Like a surprising quantity of their writing. That's really how it comes off in this game.
It's not just that they don't fit together, it's that they don't even work standing on their own. Diamond City is all on its own, doesn't tell a story, like the guy at the wall doesn't tell a story about, you know, why does this town exist and why do people live here and why is this a thing and why is this guy in charge? And you could hear those stories in earlier Fallout games or in other RPGs, or like we were talking about before, The Witcher has nothing to do but tell you those stories about why things are the way they are. So you always feel like you're part of this world. And this is just a bunch of shit that's all strung together.
We went from a game where the layout of the municipality tells a story to a game where the story doesn't even tell the story.
Yeah.
Chained up on the other
Yeah,
side.
the story itself doesn't have anything to say. It's just an excuse to have a bunch of gunfights. That's a devious idea, Josh. You're gonna try and VATS your way over the wall?
Yeah, I'm gonna biotic charge my way in.
And he's hit one over the fences.
Now, explain to me again how murdering all the raiders in the city is at all important to our goal.
I mean, just, you know, general sort of...
I mean, you're literally trying to get through an
mayhem?
impassable wall so you could fight somebody 10 levels above you that's completely unrelated to your current task.
Alright,
And you
fine.
haven't even
Go over
healed
here, then.
yourself.
You asshole!
I keep getting level ups.
Josh, remember, VATS doesn't make you invincible anymore. Nothing makes you
Does give you
invincible
damage
anymore.
reduction.
It does do
How
damage
much?
reduction. Yeah, quite a bit.
Well,
Quite a
enough
bit.
to tank a mini nuke.
Yeah. You can barely... last week, I think it was last week, Josh took a mini nuke to the face and had like 1 pixel of health left.
So, I mean, in theory, couldn't you just, like, trigger VATS every time you're about to get shot if somebody's firing a slow weapon?
If you've got AP, yeah.
Yeah, the being in the VATS selection, I don't know if that...
Wait, well, no, does the invulnerability only kick in while you're attacking? Or does it kick in, like, while you're in slow-mo?
While you're in slow-mo, but it's not invulnerability, it's just like 90% damage reduction.
Okay,
Which,
but the
you know,
90% damage reduction, like, you don't even need to spend AP, do you?
Yeah, you
Or
do.
do you lose
I don't
AP
know.
while you're in, like, VATS select mode?
Oh, I see
No,
what
you
you're saying.
don't.
In VATS select mode, like before you hit the do the attack button while you're still selecting people. I don't know if you have damage reduction then or not.
Where is
So
this guy?
I'd have to think you would.
Upstairs.
Why are you here? What are you trying to do?
Well, I figured instead of doing the main quest, we could go meet Strong, the most interesting super mutant companion.
We're not even going to use any of the companions we are going to get. Strong, actually, he might be really interesting, but he pissed me off, so I never used him. Like, the first time you meet him, he's got this dumbass joke about, like, oh, Shakespeare man talked to me about milk of human kindness, so I find milk so I can be strong. And I'm like, fucking kidding me? Who wrote
that's
this
it.
weak-ass joke?
That is exactly what I thought. Who wrote this? This is childish. Like, that is not even funny. It's not clever. It is baby's first joke, and it really pissed me off.
So I'm sorry, I hate to be so negative, especially after I've been gone for 2 weeks. But
Do you want us to go to the Valentine quest, or should we do this?
Yeah, I want to reiterate. Let's
we
do the
should
Valentine
probably
quest
do the
because I
Valentine
actually
quest.
like Valentine. Valentine's a good
Yeah.
NPC.
Yeah, let's do something that'll let us stop bitching.
All right.
I don't know. I don't feel like we're being unfairly negative. Like there's times like during the middle of the Alan Wake.
Fairly.
Well, I mean, there's times like Alan Wake where we've just all freaking had it and we're just like done. We're done with the game. This is awful. We're done with it. I don't feel like we're done with Fallout 4. I think we find its problems frustrating, but we're empathetic.
Well, that would be really unfortunate if we were done with Fallout 4 in the 4th week.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that we're like to a point where it's all just piss and vinegar and bile. I think we're making legitimate criticisms.
No,
And we're not
that's
just going
not
like,
until at least week
Josh,
5.
finish it.
That was a cool animation there. I like how it automatically adjusted for the raider being on the ground, that third attack. That was cool.
I will say, in regards to the whole, like, Diamond City and having a caricature of a settlement versus, like, a settlement environment that tells a story, I think Diamond City is by far the worst of those in this game. I think there are others, like that caravan place, that work much better. In fact, the whole narrative of, like, the caravans versus the raiders and, like, paying the raiders off to keep them from raiding their stuff, and then the raiders, like... And this is not really told through the game so much as it told through, like, the occasional audio log or whatever, but, like, that whole dynamic of, like, raiders accidentally attacking the caravans and then going, like, oh, shit. Or accidentally attacking the wrong caravans and going, oh, shit, now they're not gonna pay us anything. And that kind of... I felt like there was some thought put into the world building in a way that just wasn't in Fallout 3 at all.
No, I mean, a lot of what's here feels like a reaction to the criticisms of Fallout 3. Like, how everyone complained there were no memorable or interesting characters in Fallout 3, so every companion here is a wacky, goofy character, like, that has a unique model and a unique sense of, you know, who they are. Even if it doesn't mean they tell a good story, you know, Piper is a different character than Hancock is a different character than Nick, and that is something that is improved over Fallout 3, certainly. Whereas, you know, which flavor of bland oatmeal do you want is Fallout 3?
And some of them are surprisingly deep and interesting once you get to know them. Getting to know them often doesn't feel like it's worth it. Often doesn't feel like it's worth it. Like, people have pointed out that Preston Garvey has cool things going. Even Preston Garvey has interesting things going on with him, but why would you ever get to that point? Why would you ever be friends with Preston?
Oh, yeah. What? You didn't know that?
I left him at the first starter village, and I never picked him up again. Like,
yeah, Preston, you know, he's got some psychological stuff going on with him that has some thought put into it that some people really resonates with them. But honestly, to sort of access the interesting parts of Preston Garvey, you need to spend more time with Preston Garvey than his own mother wanted to.
Ain't scared yet.
What do we got?
Can I also, as long as we're on a praising bit,
let's chat.
Praise the music? I know it's mostly Fallout 3 music, but I love the combat score.
Yeah, Inon Zur is a pretty good composer. We did it!
I think that guy might have been slightly misnamed.
I hope I pronounced his name correctly.
No, I think Rutskarn was talking about the survivalist who you killed.
Oh, survivalist, yeah.
Yes, Josh, it was a dumb joke. Heaven knows I'm not going to start throwing stones at pronunciation. At least not since our Appalachian hoedown.
Can we just never mention that again? Also, like, I guess there was a plank here or something at one point.
Did that person jump?
Maybe they jumped. Let's see.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Hey, buddy! Oh,
I actually hate Bethesda environmental storytelling 9 times out of 10, but I liked that for some reason. It's subtle,
I feel like
it's like a subtle macabre joke.
I don't think there's any way down, but...
I mean, honestly, it would have been funnier if you would also have to, like, not make the jump. Like, if they'd made it just far enough that you also can't make it.
Well, they made it. They just died.
That's fair. Well, okay, if you made it and it killed you, I'd be like, what do you expect?
The reason I hate Bethesda environmental storytelling is that cute little jokes like that and the bank from a couple episodes earlier are cute little, that's cute kind of jokes. But then they can't do any of the basics of their actual world building right. Like, they are aware of what environmental storytelling is, and then don't use it for anything that matters. They use it for cutesy jokes, and that irritates the crap out of me.
Isn't the comic store around here somewhere?
You're in the same city as the comic store. I don't know where it is exactly.
Thanks, Campster. I'm in Boston, and the comic store is also in Boston.
Yeah, Something Awful had a pretty great article, like, Bethesda's the master of environmental skeleton storytelling. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about Bethesda. Bethesda's environmental storytelling. They're good at posing skeletons, but that's not as hard as you think it is. And it doesn't really carry a lot of thematic weight.
No. It is the apocalypse, so here's a skeleton, is the story they're
You go, Piper. You got it. Oh, you don't got it. What the f... They set the air on fire.
That's the worst, like, injured pose ever. She just looks like she's having a picnic.
Okay, scum seems like a judgmental... Is that what they call themselves?
Is that what they call themselves? My, Chris.
They're really self-aware raiders. They're just like, we're scum.
Post-ironic. On the one hand, it's like a joke, like, we're calling ourselves scum, like, who'd do that? But on the other hand, to kind of resonate with it, it's a very modern thing.
Also, can I point out that the phrase raider doesn't really make a lot of sense in an urban setting?
What was that? Wait, what the fuck was that? What just happened?
We have the Idiot Savant perk,
Did
and
you
then
not,
we gained
Did you
XP
never use
for...
that?
Wait, what is the... Oh my god,
you get
that's
additional
annoying.
XP randomly, and if you have the Idiot Savant perk, and we gained XP by finding Boston Commons.
That's... Why would they do that? And how do they make that noise? Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
You guys want to go meet the...
That should be the subtitle of this game, Fallout
bird?
4. Why would they do that?
The bird? What is the bird?
That
Oh
guy.
my god, it's a bird.
You could even
I didn't know
argue
that
that
this
that's
was a thing.
thematically... You could even argue that it's thematically appropriate, because, like, this game is all about people doing things when they have no reason to do so.
Is that a super mutant wearing a
What did I
swan
get
suit?
hit
What is
by?
that?
Sort of.
Yeah, I had no idea any of this was here.
Yeah, he's a boss. I fight him once in a while. He's pretty he's just a joke. He's a joke boss. He calls himself Swan, and he's dressed up in, like, swan feathers that he got from, you know, around here. And he hides here in the... He's also a badass. He drops a super duper fist if you actually manage to beat him.
Do you want to see me beat him?
Yeah. Beat him.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, okay.
At level, at level
um,
bullshit. At level 9. Go ahead and
So
beat
you remember
level 20
you remember
Swan.
that part in Skyrim where I
Spam,
exploited the alchemy
exploited,
system to create fists of 9,000 punching damage?
Oh.
Well, this game doesn't have an alchemy system, but it does have a cooking system.
Oh, no.
And you can cook things like the Yaograi roast, which says it gives you plus 10 melee damage. But that's a lie. What it actually does is multiply your melee damage by a factor of 5. So, we're gonna run away here.
Yep, because he took the psycho buff.
Wait for our AP to come back.
My favorite
Oh wait,
part
no,
of any
it doesn't
combat.
matter. I can just poke him. Oh, unless I alt tab by accident.
Wah, wah, wah.
Using a keyboard properly is the hardest part of any fight.
Is this
And then I missed. Fuck. All right, there we go.
That? Oh, please tell me the recording's okay.
The recording's fine. All right. So, this game's super broken. That has been a bug in the game since the very first release of it. Still not fixed. My
Okay, so we got his mop. Now what?
baseball bat does 366 damage right now per swing.
Wow.
Well, we got his stuff. Now we're gonna go to, and this lasts for like 1 in-game hour, or like it says it lasts for 1 in-game hour. I think it lasts for longer than that. It might last for 60 minutes in real time. So we're gonna run around and be able to kill everything in one hit
Joining
now.
Skinny Malone's crew was the best decision we've ever made.
Leaving so soon?
Hi. How you guys doing?
Fire you. I like you teleported in there.
For other journalists.
I hope we have a way out. Okay, we do.
Wait, the last thing to go through that guy's mind, was how did he? Well, no, the last thing to go through his mind was your bat. But before that was how did that guy get in here?
Legends tell of a wanderer, Guy Fieri.
Won't be able to take this.
That lock is
Taking
too
them to
difficult.
Flavor Town.
Oh my god, don't say that because in a future Bethesda game, I swear to Christ, there will be a Flavor Town. And it will be run by a Guy Fieri parody character.
He'll be called.
You know what mod we got
Run,
big now?
Frosted. He'll be called Guy Fury, and he'll like have frosted white hair spiked up.
Woo, run, Flavor Town.
I was just gonna go there, you bastard. You beat me to it.